Welcome. This video goes along with the Rational Numbers Part 2 packet. If you haven't downloaded that packet yet, pause the video and please download that from Schoology. This will cover the first lesson in the packet on converting fractions to decimals. We will complete pages 2 through 4 together, and then the homework will be pages 5 and 6. This lesson is on converting fractions into decimals. There are two methods that we will go through. Method 1 works all the time, and method 2 works some of the time. If you want to use method 2, you have to make sure that your denominator goes evenly into 10, 100, or 1000. Then you can skip to method 2. If not, you must use method 1. Method 1 always works. So this first example is already written out in your notes. So please just go ahead and watch the video as I solve the problem rather than trying to write and follow it in your notes. The problem says 8/15. To convert that into a decimal. So we're going to set up a long division problem. 8 on the inside, 15 on the outside. Top dog goes in the doghouse. We go 15 into 8. Doesn't go. So we'll put a 0 above it. And now we're going to put a decimal after the 8 and bring it straight up into our quotient and then add a 0 after the decimal. Now we're just going to ignore the decimal and treat that like the number 80. We say 15 goes into 80 5 times. That's our divide step. Multiply 5 times 15 is 75. Subtract 80 minus 75 is 5. Check. That is less than what we're dividing by. Now we're going to add another 0 after ours because we have a remainder. We can't have a remainder with a decimal, so we have to keep going. Bring the 0 down. 15 into 50 goes 3 times. Multiply. 3 times 15 is 45. Subtract 5 remainder. So now I'm going to add another 0 and bring it down. And again, we have 50. 15 into 50 is 3. 3 times 15 is 45. Subtract, bringing it 5. So now you've noticed we keep getting the same remainder. So that means the 3 up top is going to keep repeating. So our answer is going to be 0.53 with a line over the 3. That tells us that the 3 is repeating. As I do these next two examples, you might want to just watch first and then go back and write them into your notes. Example 2 says 3/8. That means 3 divided by 8. So my 3 is going on the inside, 8 is going on the outside. 8 doesn't go into 3, so we'll put a 0 up top. We'll add a decimal after our 3. Bring your decimal straight up into your quotient, and now add a 0. Ignore the decimal and do 8 into 30. That's going to be 3. Multiply 3 times 8 is 24. Subtract 30 minus 24 is 6. That's less than what we're dividing by 8, so we keep going. Add another 0 to our dividend and bring it straight down. 8 into 60 is going to go 7 times. 7 times 8 is 56. Subtract 60 minus 56 is 4. Check. Less than 8, yes. Bring down another 0. 8 into 40 is 5. 5 times 8 is 40. Subtract 0. That's how you know you're done, is when you get to a 0, or our remainder continues to repeat, or we tell you to only go to a certain number of digits. So 3/8 as a decimal is 0.375. The way we would read that would be 375 thousandths. So let's look at example 3, but before we do it, I want to remind you that fraction to decimal conversions will end in one of 3 ways. Either you'll do the division and then eventually get a remainder of 0, so that's how you know you're done. Or the numbers in your quotient will start repeating, so you'll just put a line over the digits that repeat. Or they might not end, and we will have to tell you what place value to round to. So in example 3, we are going to round our answer to the nearest hundredths. That would be to the second decimal place. but that means we need to go to the third decimal place to find out what to put in our second decimal place. So for number 3, we're going to make it 6/7. We're going to divide 6 divided by 7. 7 doesn't go into 6. Put a 0 up top, a decimal in our dividend, bring it into our quotient. Add a 0. 7 into 60 is going to go 8 times. 8 times 7 is 56. Subtract 60 minus 56. We're ignoring that decimal. Would be 4. Check. 4 is less than 7. We're good. Add a 0 and bring it down. 7 into 40 is going to go 5 times. 5 times 7 is 35. Subtract. I get a 5. Although I'm at the hundredths place, I need to know what my next digit is so I know whether it's going to stay 0.85 or round up to 0.86. So I'm going to add one more 0, bring it down, make that 50. 7 into 50 is going to go 7 times. 7 times 7 is 49. Subtract, 1 left over. So we can be done dividing now because we only need to know our answer to the nearest hundredth. So looking at our answer of 0.857, 0.85 would be our hundredths, but we want to look at what's in our thousands place. It's a 7, so 5 or above, give it a shove. We're going to bump it up 1 to make our answer approximately equal to 0.86, 86 1/100ths. So let's turn to page 3 and talk about method 2 for converting fractions to decimals. You can stick with method 1 for all the problems doing long division, but method 2 is a bit of a shortcut if your denominator is a factor of either 10, 100, or 1,000, and so on. Those are my decimal place values, is why those will work. So before we start, let's write down what factors of 100 would be. 1 times 100, 2 times 50, 4 times 25, 5 times 20, and 10 times 10. So the numbers are factors. Those are what we're looking for to see if we can use method 2 as a shortcut. So let's look at example 1. Let's call it 7/20. We're going to make it an equivalent fraction over 100 because 20 goes into 100. So if we rename our denominator, we also have to rename our numerator. What we do to the denominator, 20 to get to 100, was times it by 5. So 7 times 5 will give us 35 1/100ths as a fraction. When we make that into our decimal, hundredths is going to be right here. This is the hundredths place, the second one over, the hundredths place. So we need the 35, the 5, to end up in the hundredths place. It's 2 digits, so it fills in just fine. 0.35, that says 35 hundredths. Let's look at example 2. Let's call that 1/20. Same denominator we had before, but you'll see something happens on this one. So we know 20 goes into 100, so we'll use a denominator of 100. So we'll say 20 times 5 gives me 100, so I have to do the same to my numerator. 1 times 5 is 5. So now I have 5 1/100ths that I'm going to convert into a decimal. Well, again, my hundredths place is the second digit over. So I need the 5, my numerator, to end up in the hundredths place. That means I need a placeholder 0 in between my decimal and my 5. So that says 0.05 or 5 1/100ths. Let's do one more. Let's do example 3. Let's try 2/5. Well, instead of using 100 as a denominator, we could use 10. 5 goes into 10. So we say 5 times 2 is 10. So 2 times 2 is 4. So 2/5 is equal to 4/10. So when I make my decimal, I know I need the 4 to be in the tenths place. Well, that means I only need one digit of a decimal because the first decimal place is the tenths place. Remember, there's no oneths place. So the 4 It's just going to go right there, 0.4. 2/5 equals 0.4, or 4/10. Let's do a couple more together, and then I'm going to have you try a few on your own. I'm going to do number 3 and number 7. Number 3, 11 divided by 6. 11 is going to go on the inside, 6 is on the outside. So I start by saying 6 goes into 11 this time. It does go in one time. 1 times 6 is 6. Subtract, I get 5. That is less than 6, but I'm not going to have a remainder. So now is when I'm going to add my decimal, bring it up into my quotient, straight up, add a 0, bring it down. 6 into 50 is going to go 8 times. 8 times 6 is 48. Subtract 50 minus 48 is 2. Less than 6, we're good. Let's add another 0. 6 into 20 goes 3 times. 3 times 6 is 18. Subtract, remainder 2. It's less than 6 again. Look what's going to happen. We're going to add another 0, and we're going to end up with 6 into 20 again. The 3 is going to repeat, and we'll just keep getting the same remainder. 18, subtract 2, we'll just keep getting a 3. So we're going to write 11/6 is approximately equal to 1.83 with a line over just the 3. That's what's repeating. Let's look at number 7. We can do 1/20th using method 2, where instead of having to do the long division, we're going to make an equivalent fraction. Let's make it over 100. 20 times 5 is 100. 1 times 5 is 5. So it's 5/100ths. So my 5 needs to be in the hundredths place, which is the second digit over. So 0.05. I want you to go ahead and try 2 of the problems from example 1 using the long division method 1, and then choose 2 from example 2. Try to use method 2 where you make an equivalent fraction. Pause the video, try those problems, and then come back and check your answers. Go ahead and check your answers for those for example 1 that you did. Problem 1 is 0.57 to the nearest hundredth. It would keep going, and it said we could round to the nearest hundredth if necessary. Number 2 is 2.625. If you round to the nearest hundredth, it would be 2.63, but it said if necessary, and since it ends after the 5, that's not necessary, but either answer would be correct. And number 4, 7/9 is a repeating decimal, 0.7 repeating with the line over the 7. If your answers are different, go ahead and pause it and look at the work here and figure out where your error is occurring. Now go ahead and check your answers for the 2 you chose from example 2. 3/25ths, you could use a denominator of 100. You would get 12/100ths, which would be written 0.12. 7/10 already has a place value of 10, which is one of our decimal place values, so it's just 0.7 because that's the tenths place. And number 8, 3/5, we could use a denominator of 10, would make it 6/10 or 0.6. You could always use method 1 and do long division for any of these problems as well. The homework is pages 5 and 6. The directions say, write each fraction as a decimal, round to the nearest thousandth if necessary. Well, that's a little bit different from what we've been doing. We've been going to the hundredths place. So thousandths mean you're going to have 3 decimal places in your answer if it keeps going, which means you need to divide to the 4th decimal place over, the 10,000ths place, and determine what to round your thousandths place to. By using the rules, the 5 or above, give it a shove, 4 or less, let it rest. Make sure you choose which method appropriately. If it's a factor of 10, 100, or 1,000, you can choose method 2. Otherwise, you'll do long division, and it is pages 5 and 6. Remember to label your answers for problems 13 and 14 as those are story problems. Good luck.